Good morning students, welcome in this class. This video is for class 7th, subject Social Science. Today we are going to start History Chapter 6, Towns, Traders and Craftsperson. It is the first lecture of this chapter, and in today's lectures, topics to be discussed are: first one, temples, towns and pilgrimage centers. Second one, bronze lost wax technique, a network of small towns, traders big and small, administrative centers, and in last, homework will be given to you on the basis of taught topics. So students, let's start today's discussion. Yes, actually in 7th standard we are studying about medieval history. Okay, and the main features of the medieval period, that is the growth of urbanization, means development of cities. So one of the most interesting aspects of the medieval period in the 17th centuries was the growth of urbanization. Okay, means with the passage of time, many new cities, towns were developed during medieval period of Indian history, and there were mainly 3 types of town on the basis of the main activities which were held in this particular city or town. These were temple town, administrative town and commercial town or a port town. Okay, like temple towns, which were the main center of the religious activities. Okay, and means there were a large number of, you can say, temples were there, main center of the religious activities. Second one is there administrative, means from where the rulers rule. Okay, and third one is there commercial town, related to means trading purpose, means the town which were the main center of trade. And some towns were there which that performed all these activities combined, means in a single town all these features were found, like there were temples were also there, and they were the main center of administrations, and trading activities were also performed in a single town. Okay, so means on the basis of the main activity held in a particular city or town, that this classification was done. So, how many types of towns were there? Mainly 3. Temple towns, administrative towns and commercial town. Temple towns were the main center of religious activities, administrative that related to the administrations of the ruler, and commercial town means that there were the mainly trading activities were done or held. Okay, so now we will study about all these types of town one by one. So our first, that is their administrative centers. Okay, so as we are studying about medieval period, okay, and in medieval period we have studied about different dynasties. So in which that now we will take an example of the Chola dynasty. Okay, and in Chola dynasty we know that the Thanjavur was the capital of the Chola, and it was an administrative center. Okay, means the Cholas, that it was Thanjavur the capitals of the Cholas, and it was the main, you can say, center of administrative activities. Means Cholas dynasty rules from this city or town Thanjavur. Okay. Yes, the perennial river, Kaveri flows near these beautiful towns. So what were the features of this, you can say, Thanjavur city? Actually, at that time that perennial river Kaveri flows near it. Yes friends, do you know the meaning of perennial river? Actually, rivers are of 2 types, seasonal rivers and perennial river. Seasonal means the rivers which that flow in a particular season, especially in monsoon or rainy season. And perennial river, which rivers flow throughout the year. So, but this time Kaveri is not a perennial river this time, but we are talking about the Chola dynasty timing period. around thousands years ago. So at that time that Kaveri river was perennial river. Means at that time that Kaveri rivers flow throughout the year. Okay. So what about the features of that Thanjavur? It was the capital city of the Cholas, and that it was situated at the bank of the Kaveri rivers, and Kaveri rivers you can say flows near this beautiful city. Rajrajeshwara temple was built by King Raja Raja Chola by the architect, that is Khunjra Malan Raja Raja Peruthajan. Okay, actually beta, this was the full name of Raja Raja, ruler, that is Raja Raja. Actually that was the full name and it is very big. So in many books that we just find the Raja Raja. So at that time we studied about the Raja Rajeshwar temple in our 5th chapter, rulers and buildings. Okay, so we know that Raja Rajeshwar temple was built by the Cholas dynasty ruler Raja Raja Chola. Okay, and it was a, you can say, good example of the architecture of that time period. Okay, so in which we say that beta, we are studying about that you can say temple town and administrative towns. So in this time city means Thanjavur, we find all these that features combined. In the starting I told you that some towns and cities were there in which all activities were performed. As I told that it was the capital city of Cholas, so means in this way that it was administrative center also, and that one temple was, famous temple was also that built in these areas or in Thanjavur, so that here religious activities also performed. So in this way that it was considered as a temple town also. So both activities were there, and the third one is there that related to the commercial or trading purpose. Yes, there are palaces with mandaps or pavilion. Okay, beta, in this you can say temples, Raja Rajeshwara, there were a big halls. These were known as mandaps. Okay, so mandap means big halls. Big halls were there in the temples where king hold their court. Okay, in which the king held the meetings. So these big halls, pavilions were known as mandaps. Okay, and the town is bustling with market selling grain, spices, clothes, jewelries. Okay, so beta, here it is given the example of trading activities. Okay, so in these cities, due to the administrative activities and temple towns, so many people came here. Okay, in this cities or means in Thanjavur, and there were a great market, okay, trading activities also, in which that traders, the people that sold that grain, spices, clothes, jewelries, means all the things related to the basic needs. So beta, how now we can see that in Thanjavur we find the religious activities also, administrative activities also, and commercial or trading activities also. Okay, so the Celia weavers of Thanjavur and the nearby towns of Uriyar are busy producing cloth for flags. Okay, so we are talking about the towns, traders and craftsmen. This is our chapter. So related to the trading activities. Okay, so means craft work was also done by the people. Okay, and in which that you can say weapons, tools, statues were made. And some people were that involved in the weaving of work of weaving of clothes. Okay, and in which one community was there, which was Salia community. Okay, you must know about it. So sometimes this question is asked in 1 mark, that what do you mean by, or who were Salias, or name the weaver communities of Thanjavur. So Salia was a weaver communities of Thanjavur. Okay, and in the same means one another place was there, that is Uriyar. Okay, means they were in Thanjavur and Uriyar, the people, those who were involved in the weaving activities. So this communities was known as Salia. Okay, and they produced the clothes for the flags for temples. Okay, and in which better two types of, you can say, cotton clothes were used. Fine quality of cotton clothes for used for the ruler or for the high class people, and that the, you can say, medium type or low quality cotton was used for the mass or a group of people, means common people. Okay, that is Swami Malai or the sthapis or sculptures or making that the exquisite bronze idols and tall ornamental bell and lamps. Okay, so now we have studied about the weaver communities. So what was the name of the weaver communities? Salya. Now the people, those who were involved in the activities of making, you can say, statues, okay, or tools, lamps, bells. So these communities were known as Swami Malai. Okay, Swami Malai and Sthapis. Okay, Sthapitis, these are the sculpture, means those who were experts, skilled in making, you can say, tools from metals, bronze. Okay, bronze actually it is an alloy which is the mixture of, you can say, copper and tin. Okay, in our second chapter we have studied about one statue, okay, which was very famous at that time in the Chola dynasty. It was made up of the bronze. Okay, so means in this way we can come to know that means people were expert in making these metal tools, and they were involved in the trading also. Okay, so they trade of these bronze metals tools. Okay, and especially for the ornament bell which was used in the temples, lamp, okay, and statues also. So you must know about the community, those who were involved in this or those who were sculptures, that they were the Swami Malai, and weaver community Salya. Okay students, yes, now we will discuss about this, means they were perfect in a special type of technique, means they used a special type of technique in making statues. Okay, the bronze, bell metal and the lost wax technique. What was this technique? Now we will study about it. Bronze, as I told you, that it is a metal which is it is a metal or alloy which is a mixture of copper and tin. Bell metal, actually the bell, temple bell, which is used in worship. Okay, so that in this type of metal, tin is used in large proportion or amount. Okay, because to provide a bell sound. And lost wax technique. What was lost wax technique? Now I will tell you. Okay, yes, bronze is an alloy containing copper and tin. This already I have told you. Bell metal contains a greater proportion of tin than other kinds of bronze. And what is the reason behind it? Because when the large amount of tin was mixed in the bronze, so it produced a bell-like sound. Okay, and Chola bronze statues were made using the lost wax technique. So as I told you that in the second chapter in which we have studied about the Chola dynasty, so in which we that in one pic of that your NCERT book, one picture is shown in which one statue is there, dancing girl is there. That was very famous and it was made up of the bronze. Okay, so how this type of bronze statues were made? As I told, that is special techniques was used, that was lost wax. So what was this technique? Actually, under this technique, first an image was made up of wax and this was covered with clay and allowed to dry. Next, it was heated and a tiny hole was made in the clay cover. Okay, the molten wax was drained out through this hole. Then molten metal was poured into clay mold through the hole, and once the metal cooled and solidified, the clay cover was carefully removed and the image was cleaned. Understood, friends? So listen, first what is then? An image was made up of wax. Why? Why in the starting? That the image was not made up of directly with the metal, as we know that it was very difficult, or you can say impossible, to give the shape of any image, okay, with the metal, and it is very easy, okay, to mold it, to give the shape by using wax, okay, because it is very soft. So this was first, the image was made up of wax. So then after that, what is done? This image was covered with clay, okay, and allowed to dry, okay. So next, it was heated. A high temperature was given, and as we know that on the temperature, or when a temperature is given to the wax, then it is melted, okay. So a tiny hole was made, okay, in the clay cover, and the molten wax was drained out through the hole. Okay, so when molten wax drained out, so only a hole, or you can say that a statue or framework, you can say, is made. Okay, it is only left, means a framework is left, and in this framework, then that poured or metalled clay material is, that poured or melted metal was poured or put into this mold, okay, through this hole. So when this metal cooled down, so we know that it is solidified, okay. And then after that, what was done? The clay cover, means upper clay cover, was removed and the image was cleaned. So that was the wax lost technique, because in which wax was lost, okay. Understood, friends? Yes. Now we will study about temple towns and pilgrimage center. First we have studied about the administrative center, okay. Now we will study about the temple towns. As we know that from the ancient time, many religious activities were performed in Indian society, okay. So for that, to gain, you can say, popularity among the people, some rulers, that they built many temples, okay, and then they engraved or carved their names also on the walls of these temples, as we have studied about Raja Rajeshwara temple, okay, which was built by Raja Raja Chola, and on the walls of this temple, the name of Raja Raja Chola rulers was engraved. You can see there that temple is in Tamil Nadu, okay. Now temple towns and pilgrimage center, okay. Thanjavur is also an example of a temple town which represent a very important pattern of urbanization, the process by which cities develop, okay. As I told you about the features of Thanjavur, that it was an administrative center and it was a temple town also. So which temple was found in Thanjavur? Rajarajeshwara temple, okay. So now temples were often central to the economic and society. How they were the center of the economy and society, okay. So as we know, beta, nowadays also that when we visit to any temple, then we donate something. We donate some amount to the temple. So at that time also, that the many rulers, that to you can say gain prosperity, okay, popularity, so that they gave, or means they donated a large amount. Sometimes they donated land, sometimes the cash, okay, many other things to the temples, okay. At that time also we know that there is a very great wealth in temples, okay. So at that time also that there was a great wealth in these temples, so they were the main center of the economy and society, okay. Yes. Temples with grants of land and money to carry out elaborate rituals, feed pilgrims and priests, and celebrate festivals. As I told you that the people, those who visited, okay, these temples, and the rulers also, common peoples also, so they donated some money to these temples, okay, according to their rituals, or you can say their belief, okay, and to feed pilgrims and priests and celebrate festivals. Okay, pilgrims who flocked to these temples also made donation. Already I told you, means the person who visited this temple means common people also, that according to their belief or according to their rituals, cultures, they also gave donations to these temples. Okay, and the temple's authorities use their wealth to finance trade and banking. Towns merged around temples such as those of, that is, Bilaswasing, okay, Bhilsa or Vidisha. This is also known as, this temple is also known as Vidisha. Okay, and at the time the temple was known as, that is, Bilaswamin. Okay, Bilaswamin, and now it is also known as Vidisha, and it is in Madhya Pradesh. Somnath, that is very popular temple, and that is in Gujarat. So beta, we have you can say heard about the Mahmud, okay, Ghazni attacked on the Somnath temple. Means the Muhammad Ghazni attacked on Somnath temple many times, and what was the reason behind it? As I told you, that there was a great wealth in these temples, okay, due to the donations given by the common people and the rulers. So at that time the famous temples were there, that is the Vidisha temple in Madhya Pradesh, Somnath temple in Gujarat. Okay, and so when these temples, you can say, were built in these cities, so many people came in these you can say towns or cities, and many other activities were also performed to fulfill the needs of the people, okay, like marketing, selling products, this is there. So in this way, with the passage of times, then these you can say area developed as a town or city. Okay, other important temple towns including Kanchipuram and Madurai in Tamil Nadu, and Tirupati Balaji, that is very famous temple this time also, and it is in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so means as we come to know now, the means temple towns were the towns where religious activities were performed, and these temple authorities means they use their wealth to finance trade and banking. Okay, already we have discussed about it. Now our next topic is there, that is pilgrimage center also slowly developed into township. Okay, Vrindavan, Uttar Pradesh, and Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu are example of two such towns. This time also we know Vrindavan. When we call this name Vrindavan, so one imagination, one image come in our mind related to a large number of temples. Okay, main center of religious activities. This is there in UP. Okay, so with the passage of time, that is some you can say cities or towns developed as pilgrimage center, okay, where people came due to their faith, you can say belief, or their cultures or their rituals. Okay, and with the passage of time, that many people like priest and the other, they started to settle down in these places. Okay, and they started to you can say do or involve in trading activities also. Nowadays also we see that many you can say small shops are there nearby these temples, or many people that they sell many things which were used in worship, okay, and in puja samgri, this is there. So means with the passage of time, some cities, some towns that they developed as a pilgrimage centers, when people started to come here to perform their rituals, okay, and their you can say religious activities. Now another example is given about the Ajmer, that was placed in Rajasthan. That at that time that was the capital of Chauhan kings before the Mughals, okay, in the 12th centuries, and later became the Suba headquarter under the Mughals. Means before the arrivals of the Mughals or attacks of the Mughal, that time Ajmer was the main center, or you can say the administrative center or capital of Chauhan kings. Okay, And later on, after the, you can say, when Mughals attacked on India and ruled here, means in the medieval period, that this place became the main center of the Mughal administrative. Pushkar, which has attracted pilgrims from ancient time. Pushkar Lake, okay, that was also in Rajasthan nearby Ajmer. So here also people visited, okay, that here a you can say grand fair is also organized this time also, Pushkar Mela. Okay, so beta, these were some places that which attracted the people. People started to settle here, okay, they started to perform trading activities, and due to this, that they became the main center of the, you can say, religious activities, or they developed as pilgrim center or temple towns. Now, a network of small towns. Okay, so what is a network of small towns? There were streets for different kinds of artisans such as potters, oil pressers, sugar makers, okay, toddy makers, smiths, stones masons, and etc. Network of small towns. Okay, beta, means with the passage of time, some small villages or towns, you can say, are converted into a big city or big town. Okay, like if I give the example of Delhi. Okay, at that, now Delhi was a very big city, big town. But at that time, if we talk or see few years back, at that time it was not so big. So with the passage of time, many small towns, cities, or you can say, merged to each other. Okay, and that they developed as a big town. Okay, and when any you can say small town developed as a big town, so their trading activities also, you can say, developed, that there is a number of you can say a big market, many number of shops are there, many people settled here to earn their livelihood. So at that time also, means the cities or towns which developed as big towns, so in which a great you can say big market was there, and many peoples like artisans, potters, oil pressers, okay, sugar maker, toddy makers means those who made alcohol, okay, smiths, those who were involved in the work of gold, stone masons, okay, those who make buildings, or these are there. So many peoples, means related to every occupations, they lived in these big cities, because they were the main source of they could earn their livelihood. Okay, that's why, so means all art you can say people related to the different professions lived in big towns. Usually a samanta, or in later times a zamindar, built a fortified palace in or near these towns. They levied taxes on traders, artisans, articles of trade, and sometimes donated the right to collect these taxes to local temples. Yes, friends, when many people started to live in these you can say towns, big towns, so at that time Samanta were the we studied in our previous chapter that Samanta, that were the person who were a link between the farmers, okay, and you can say farmers and the rulers, okay, those who collected the taxes. And later on in the Mughal period, he was given the name of zamindar. So when these zamindars, when these samanta observed these things, that now the many trading activities were performed in these towns, so what they did, they started to live or settle in these places. Okay, means they built their own palaces nearby these areas. Okay, and after that they imposed taxes on traders, artisans, okay, on every articles, everything which was sold or purchased in these markets. Okay, means everything of the trade, and sometimes they gave the right of collection taxes from the temples also, means the donations which came in this temple, that they got the right, okay, to collect this taxes also, donations also, some amount out of this. Okay, traders had to pass through many kingdoms and forests. They usually traveled in caravans and formed guilds to protect their interest. Yes friends, with the passage of time and the trading activities increased, more people involved in these trading activities. So for their protections their right, okay, so what they did, they started to make their groups, okay, and in which groups they were known as guild. Actually, what do you mean by guild? Guild was the group of traders, okay, guild were group of traders. So these traders that they started to make groups of the people, because for trading activities, for trading purpose, they had to pass through many unsafe, you can say, ways for the protection, because when they move in the groups, then it was safe for them. So for the safety purpose, they started to make group, and these groups were known as guild. So karwa means group, ki they moved from one place to another in groups or guilds, okay. That Chetiyars and the Marwari Oswal, who went on the become of principal trading groups of the country. These were you can say trading group, so you must know about it, okay. That Chetiyars and Marwari Oswals who went to, means these were the two main trading group in the southern part of India. Okay, principal means main trading groups. So this question sometimes it is asked in 1 mark, that name the two main trading group of the southern, you can say southern part or the south of India. So these are Chetiyars and Marwari. So who were Chetiyars and Marwari? Trading groups of south of India. Okay. Now in the north Indias also the trading groups were there. So who were these? These were Gujarati traders. Gujarati traders including the communities of Hindu Baniyas and Muslim, that is Bohras. Okay, in Hindu communities they were known as Baniyas, and in Muslim communities this trading group were known as Bohras. Okay, extensively with the port of Red Sea, Persian Gulf, East Africa, Southeast Asia and China. Means they were the main trading groups, and they that did trade not only in India, but they trade with the other countries also, okay, through the sea route, like Eastern Africa also, Southeast Asia and China also. They sold textiles and spices in these ports, and in exchange brought gold and ivory from Africa, and spices, tin, Chinese blue pottery and silver. Yes, as we know students, that Indian cotton clothes, especially in the textile means cotton clothes and spices, were very great in demand and famous in the world market. So this trader that they sold these things to the other countries, and in exchange, okay, that they got what? Gold and ivory. Ivory means elephant teeth jewelries from Africa, okay, and from China's. Okay, from China, what they brought? They brought blue pottery and silver. Okay, so means they trade with the exchange of these things, with the exchange of cotton textile and spices from India, that they brought gold, ivory and blue pottery. Okay, so in this way we can come to know that how they were expert. Okay, they were skilled. They not means they didn't just trade with India, but outside also, in with other countries also. Okay, yes, the towns on the west coast were home to Arab, Persians, Chinese, Jewish and that is Syrian Christian traders. Indian spices and clothes sold in the Red Sea ports were purchased by Italian traders and eventually reached European market, fetching very high profit. As I told you that Indian spices and clothes were very great in demand. So in this way these traders were getting more and more profit. Okay. Yes. So friends, in this way that our today's lecture is completed, in which we have studied about the administrative centers or towns, or trading centers, or you can say commercial towns and temple towns. As I told you, this classification was done on the basis of the main activities. In the temple town, that the main activities, religious activities, and that you can say second one is that is commercial, in which trading activities, and administrative means related to the administration. Okay, and some towns were there in which all activities were performed together, combined. So now homework. So in homework, our first question is there: which techniques were used to make the Chola bronze statues? This we have discussed in our lecture. Second one is there: what was the capital of the ancient Chola kingdom? Question 3. Name two famous guilds, group of traders. Guilds, I told you, that was the group of traders of South India from the 8th century onwards. Next question. What was the role of samantas or zamindars? Okay. What was the role of a samanta or a zamindars? What they did? Yes, they started, I discussed that they started to live in these cities. They fortified, okay, the cities, and that imposed high taxes on every category: artisans, traders, okay, farmers. So they collected the taxes from these persons. Question next. Write a short note on lost wax technique. Okay, we have discussed about this technique. So you have to write a short note on it. Question 6. Describe the town's Thanjavur. As I told that it was an administrative center also, temple towns also, okay, and commercial towns also. So you have to tell about all these features of Thanjavur. Okay, friends. So in this way, our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with our next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.